Yo! What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Moody, your coach of the Westchester Weavals. And today we have our JBA Season 4, Week 7? 7. Week 7? I believe it's Week 7. Week 7 matchup against Dougals, aka Dougie, aka our partner in our Tri-State Attackers team tournament matchup. And he is the coach of the New York Pokemon Rangers. You might have seen him in the last video when we played him in the SSL, and he beat us. Spoilers, he did beat us. But this is JBA, and it's totally two different teams. He's got one of the best teams in the league, in my opinion. If you caught the power rankings that I did with Jade on his channel, you would have seen that I put him at like 2 or 3. He is a very good battler too. So we got a match for us. We need this win. We need to keep on winning to potentially keep our playoff stakes alive. And I think in like the beginning of the season, I think I said in the team builder, or at least I said to myself, I need to go 1-2 at least against the combination of Dougie, Miguel, or Money, and L5. So far, we are 0-2 against the combination, so we need to win right here. To be honest, TBH, we need Pokemon. We need the Poke Gods to come through. We're currently 2-4. We pretty much need to win out. We need to win out really to have any hopes of playoffs. But let's take a look at Dougie's team. Let's take a look at Dougie's team. He's got the Alomola and the Mega Gardevoir, the Shaman, the Zygarde, the Kabutops, and the Crobat. While on my side, we got the Choice Scarf Lando T, Frollo T, rocking with Earthquake, Stone Edge, U-Turn, and I believe Knockoff. Max Attack, Adamant with enough speed to, I forget what I speed crept, but with enough speed to maybe the Zygarde. I'm not 100% sure. And then next we have the Legend of Korra with rocking with leftovers, Ice Beam, Moonblast, Taunt, and Calm Mind. Maxed special defense, max HP. This is supposed to be one of my switch-ins to Hyper Voice Mega Gardevoir. Mega Gardevoir is a problem, and that is what it's meant to do. Next we have K Moody 617, the Haxorus. You know, when you stare me down on Showdown Ladder, you won't see a Haxorus in my blood, in my eyes. I'm so stupid. Rock him out with Dragon Dance, Outrage, Poison Jab, and Earthquake. Next, we have our little meatball, this is our Manitan, rocking with a Choice Scarf, with Flare Blitz, U-Turn, Earthquake, and Rock Slide. And then we have the beautiful Crankyankus, the Mandibuzz, rocking with Toxic, Roost, Defog, and Knockoff. Then we have the all-powerful Lord Zed, Lord Zed, our Mega Aggron, with the with Stealth Rock's Counter, Heavy Slam, and Ice Punch. So counter, just in case something gets out of control. Counter, a little kind of cheeky move, but whatever. What are you gonna do? So threats on his team. Actually, the Kabutops kind of runs through this team a little bit, so you have to be really careful. Zygarde, obviously very scary, especially like a coil set, or like a sub coil rest toxic, or 1,000 arrows, something like 1,000 arrows, and it's just a good mon. Shaman, Leech Seed is so annoying to play against, guys. Leech Seed is the worst to play against, I'm not gonna lie. Mega Gardevoir hits like a truck, but kind of frail on the physical side, so we can take advantage of that, especially with our Dominican and Landorus. And then we have Alomola. Alomola, big wall, very hard to take out. I don't have any electric stab, but the one good thing about Alomola is it's kind of weak, and it's usually really defensive. So basically my plan is for Haxorus to get up a DD on Alomola, and to try to whittle it down to around like 50-ish. If it gets down to like around like 50-ish%, I can kill it with outrage at +1. I am Lumberry, so if he got like a Scald Burn on me while I was trying to set up, or a, like, God forbid, a freeze, he would I would get cured with the Lumberry. So that was the rationale behind that. Hexorcist does have Poison Jab, which doesn't work against the Shaman and the Mega Gardevoir. Outrage will bop the Zygarde, and probably the Crobat and Kabutops too at +1. But yeah, so that's my team. Looking at the matchup, I think I'm going to lead off with Darmanitan. The only potential issue is if he leads off with like Kabutops and Aqua Jets and like donks me. So hopefully he doesn't do that. But alas, he does, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get out of here. I can't even U-turn out here because I gotta do that. And he goes for the Swords Dance. So right here, I didn't even run any calcs. I was just like, yo, Tapu Fini, they can take one. It's like one attack, right? He goes for the Stone Edge, not even a crit, and he kills me with that. Life Orb +2 Kabutops ran through Tapu Fini, turn 2 Tapu Fini, done. And I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna get bodied right here. I'm just gonna get bodied. So I'm like, oh, all right. So I go into Lord Zed. He can't kill me, and I think I thought like he can't kill me in one shot. So what I was gonna do was I was gonna counter, but I blew the fact that I was countering actually. Then he decides to switch into the Shaman, and I decided to Ice Punch. I get a crit, which is nice, very, very nice. But we're still in Misty Terrain, which is also nice. I go for another Ice Punch and get like 30%. But this is the kind of a losing battle with the Leech Seed. I decided to go into Mandibuzz, and he decides to Leech Seed me again. And I'm like, I'm already regretting. I'm like, fuck, why didn't I put U-turn on this instead of Toxic? But he goes for the Dazzling Gleam. I go for the knockoff to try to just knock off its leftovers, try to get one form of recovery away from Shaman. I decide to switch out right here, and he goes for another Leech Seed, projecting me to switch out. Nice play on his part. He goes into Amamola, and I get the Stealth Rocks. He's probably predicting the Ice Punch right there. But the Amamola gets a little bit off that. He goes for the knockoff, revealing he has knockoff, so I lose a little bit, like 4.5%. I decide to Roost right here, I believe, or yeah. I decided to Roost right here. So right here, I figured he was going to go for the Swords Dance. So I decided to Toxic this thing and put this thing on a timer. Toxic damage plus Life Orb damage is going to whittle this thing down very, very quickly. So right here, I decided to go into Lord Zed because I'm pretty sure I could take a Stone Edge and do at like 31%. Like, that did a lot. Like, this, I mean, like, this has like max social defense. It's not like, but like Mega Aggron is still Mega Aggron. And that's like that's a not very effective hit, and still doing 31% to a Mega Aggron. Like, oof, that's a lot. He reveals a low kick, and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, yo, this Kabutops, am I really gonna get blown back by Kabutops? And I'm like, oh man, fuck. So I decided to go into Landorus, and I get the attack drop. He goes for the Aqua Jet. I live one Aqua Jet. Landorus is pretty bulky, and then I go for the U-turn right here. Landorus is almost dead, but it can still be used to, like, you know, calm his Zygarde down or something along those lines. So right here, I decide to U-turn because I can't really do much to Zygarde, and he decides to go for a Coil. I'm like, oh, okay. And then he goes for the Rock Slide right here. Does about 40%. That's like almost like a max roll on that roll. I think I go for the Roost right here. Do I go for the Roost or go for a knockoff? Let's see. I go for the knockoff. But yeah, I should have probably gone for Roost there, but what are you gonna do? He goes into Mega Gardevoir and gets Mega off, and then I just use the Landorus as Death Fodder. Something really on my team wants to take a Hyper Voice. I go into this, and right here. I was thinking to myself, I was like, I probably can U-turn right here because it's going to switch and get momentum. But at the same time, he probably will think that too. So I was thinking to myself, okay, like, if I Flare Blitz, the Gardevoir is dead, Shaman is dead, Crobat is dead. Almwall could take a Flare Blitz, and Zygarde could take a Flare Blitz. But, like, I was like, if I get a Flare Blitz off, right, I could kind of, like, it's gonna hurt both of them, is what I'm trying to say. It's Darmanitan. So I was like, I could switch, I could do that, and then go into like Crank Anchors and take any hit that either of them wants to do. So I was just like, alright, well, I'm just gonna Flare Blitz. And he goes into Crobat, and this Crobat is Gonzo. Crobat is not taking a Flare Blitz from Darmanitan. And then he decides to go into this, and then I decide to go into Crank Anchors. Another reason also why the Flare Blitz was, I don't want to say the right, maybe it was, definitely wasn't the right, maybe it wasn't necessarily the right play, but it ended up working out. But another rationale was, look, if this thing is, if he switched into Zygarde to take a Flare Blitz, he would have had to take the Flare Blitz and then taken like another round of toxic damage. And I could switch into Mandibuzz like this. He goes for the Coil while I go for the Roost. Oh no, he goes for the Coil on the switch. And then he goes for another Coil while I Roost Toxic Scalp. I actually thought he was going to switch there. I don't know why I thought he was going to switch. But it's not looking good. He goes for the Rock Slide and he gets 44%. I think that was like a min roll. Because he got a max roll at +1 and a min roll at +2. So they like kind of comparable damage. So I go for the Roost right here, and I am looking pretty good right now. He goes for 1,000 arrows. See if it did more, but it doesn't. And then I get another Roost off, and he goes for another 1,000 arrows. And I could just pretty much kill this thing. I could just sit here. If he's just going to want to attack me and not, you know, set up another Coil or something, I could just keep on roosting. He goes for a Rock Slide, and I get flinched. But it really doesn't matter because toxic damage is going to take him out. So, Mandibuzz walls that out, and then at this point in the match, I'm like, okay. Mandibuzz doesn't really serve that much of a purpose anymore because Haxorus and Darmanitan can kind of take out the rest of the Steam Alamo. It might be tricky, but Haxorus and Darmanitan can do it. Hopefully. So we go into our little meatball right here, and then we decide to U-turn on his Alomomola switch. So we get a little bit of damage off, and then we go into Haxorus. So, as I said in the beginning of the match, this was my plan all along, was to get a DD up right here, and then proceed to run wild. So he decides to go for the Ice Beam, or no, knockoff. So he does a Lumberry, and I'm like, oh no. And then I was just like thinking to myself, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna get like Skull Burn or Frozen right here. Watch. So I go for the Poison Jab to just like kind of scare him a little bit and just scout for damage. Ice Beam, he goes to Ice Beam right here, and then he decides to switch to get more health back on the Alomomola. And then that's at least that's what I think he did. So he decides to attack the Shaman right there and get a little more health and try to do this. But at this point, this is what I was saying earlier. If I'm at +1 and Outrage has a potential to kill Alomomola at this range, so I decided to Outrage right here. And then I could still lose the game if he is sub Mega Garda, but if he's not, then I win. And Outrage obviously doesn't affect fairies, and I get blown back by Hyper Voice, but that just tells me that he is not sub. And then I win the game 1-0 on the Darmanitan Flare Blitz. So definitely good game to Dougie. A very intense match. I played like shit in the beginning of the match. Like I was getting worked in the beginning of the match, but we brought it back and we won 1-0. Definitely good game to do with Dougie. We go 1-1 in our little JBA SSL showdown match, doubleheader. This keeps us in playoffs in JBA, or potentially keeps us in playoffs. But yeah, we're just gonna. I think next week we play Leo, our other Tri-State attacker teammate. Should be a fun one. My name is Moody. I'll see you guys later. Peace.